This is Rockstar. We're going to give an overview of his conformation before we measure him. So make sure your horse is standing straight before you start to look at his general conformation. We're looking at his forelimb conformation. The first and obvious thing that we see is the angle of his feet, and that's something that we'll really look at in the measurement. What the angle of his foot is, especially the right foot. Low angle, long toe, low heel. The hoof wall angle is going to be really important, and does it correspond to the hoof pastern angle? So if we look from the side here, let's get him weight bearing on his leg. Oh man, come on mate, you stand on that. So hoof pastern angle, does it correspond here? Low heels. Is there enough support from the shoe? Have we got adequate support? This horse, again, he needs shoeing. And we're going to assess how much toe we have when we take the shoe off. But it will be really interesting on the measurement to see what the angle of his feet are, because this guy's quite a low angle. He's a big horse. Again, looking at his knee conformation as well. He's forward at the knee. So he's standing forward. You'd expect that with his long toe. He's trying to take pressure off the back of his limb. So he's trying to relieve the pressure on the tendons and ligaments at the back of his limb. Other than that, he's fairly straight in the limb. So the long axis of the limb. So if we take a centre line through the limb, through the centre of his foot, it was fairly good. So we looked at Rockstar's conformation of his forelimbs. He's got a really, really prominent shoulder difference. I know he's standing with his head slightly to the left. Can you just push his head to the right just very slightly, just so we can get a good idea, just that way, that's it. So you can see the shoulder difference again, asymmetrical, flat shoulder on the left, and again this corresponds quite nicely. You could just go straight with his head, thank you. This corresponds quite nicely to his foot conformation as well. Low flat foot on the right, more upright foot on the left, but he's got quite a pronounced shoulder asymmetry. Here you can see the shoulder difference. Quite a big difference when you look at how flat this shoulder is to this shoulder. So when we look at the feet, we look how this relates to the hoof as well. He's almost standing his weight into that left shoulder as well, really high here. So you can see this horse is standing. We've got him standing four square now, but you can see the pelvis as well is low on the left side. And he's dead square on the ground. Sometimes these horses, they're difficult to get them to stand four square, but you can see the shoulder difference and how that relates as well to the pelvis. He's low also on the hoof angle on the left hind. We'll take a look from the side view, but the main thing is look at the pelvis in relationship to the shoulders as well. So he's almost low all through the left side. So we need to look at this as well in the dynamic when we look at the horse walk and trot, and also in the measurement that we do with Hoofbeat, and see how this relates and if there's any association to the conformation. So again, look at the hoof pastern angle here. This is left side, left hind. Relate that to the conformation that we looked at higher up on the horse as well. Low angle, does it correspond to the pastern? Not really. Low heels. We want to give this horse a little more support to try and get these heels. These heels will run forward, toes long, and this foot's migrating forward like this, and that's not going to help this horse's situation. We've assessed Rockstar's conformation, and now we're about to measure him on the hard and soft surfaces with Hoofbeat. So when we're ready, we press the button on the remote control, and you see fast blinking on the lights, and then we can walk away. Thank you. So we need 20 strides at least in walk and trot. So he's a big horse, we'll easily get 20 strides in walk, but in trot he covers the ground I'm going to be on the safe side, and we're going to do 4 times up and down, 2 in walk, 2 in trot. You'll see the lights gradually going out of range. So as the lights go off, that means the horse is too far away for me to deactivate the sensors. So if I wanted to turn them off now, I couldn't, but they're still measuring. So they'll continue to measure constantly for 24 minutes. Straight line strides. So the system will invalidate the sideways movement. So when the horse turns, Hoofbeat will invalidate those measurements. So we only want straight line steps, and that's what we get. So if you've got a horse that's going sideways or spooks and takes a side step, don't worry about that, because if it's many strides, then it's gonna drop your number of available strides and invalidate your measurement. So we need to make sure that we have straight line, head in the straight line. You can see he's looking over towards the other horses over there, so ideally keep head straight, because we might be losing those measurements right now, that they might be invalid. So now we're going to do a combo measurement on Rockstar. So a combo measurement is derived on a soft surface, but we need 10 strides on a hard paved surface before he goes into the soft surface. This will calibrate the sensors so they know what the centre of the foot is, and also we get an angle measurement as well. Okay, so as the horse is moving, I'll start the measurement as he's coming towards me, and we'll see. We have the fast blinking lights, so we know those sensors are measuring right now. The turning strides, that'll take the system will take those away. So this is fairly firm footing here. It's not a deep surface. Often we get variable results on different footing. Wax fibre sand sometimes can give us something different to deep sand. So each horse we measure on their own working surface. Yeah, and then trot away and trot back, please. All the time we're watching out that the sensors are intact, sensors are still on the feet. If we knock a sensor halfway through the measurement, if we displace a sensor, then that'll invalidate the measurement. So we need to make sure that the horse hasn't hit the other sensor with his feet if he's interfering, if he moves close. And then we turn off. Yeah, we started, so if you could walk please. Yeah. So this is Rockstar after shoeing measurement. So we shot him according to what we saw conformationally as well. So we assessed him, we looked at the data, we analysed the data, looked at hoof angles. His hoof angles are really low, so 40 degrees right front hoof angle. So hopefully we'll have addressed that, so when we look at the data we can see what differences we've made to break over. We gave him a lot of caudal support, so he's got support on the hinds as well. We did what we said we were going to do. We supported his heels, and this measurement hopefully will show that we've got a lot smoother trot. Already I think he sounds good hoof beats. Just one more trot, yeah, please. That was a bit short. He's a big horse, covers the ground. I don't think we'd get 20 strides on one run. So again, we did, as before, we did four passes. So 2 at walk and 2 at trot. And it's really important to remember that. Try and have the same person doing the trotting up for you. to have the same person leading and do it in the same spot as you did it before. Otherwise, you've not got a fair comparison to look at the data. So we've got the same area. I'd say he's slightly slower this time, but he was quite an active trot before. But he looks sound. He looks good. Well shod. Bernie and Jeremy have shod him. Made a good job of shoeing him.
Okay, with the Hoofbeat system, when we looked at the horse at the start, we really had a little panic about the amount of movement in the horse's body and where everything was going. When we analysed our data and we looked at it, we made a very simple shoeing plan. We lengthened a few things, trimmed the feet a little bit, made a very basic standard everyday job, and our measurements have proven that we've done a good job.
So day 2, we had a great day working with Jeremy and Bernie. Rockstar was the horse we concentrated on today, and Callista. Firstly, Rockstar, he presented with quite a few problems initially. We assessed his conformation. He was fairly asymmetric. His hoof angles were really low, especially right front was 40 degrees. And you'll see from the graphics as well, there was a lot of movement and instability in the mid stance. So the goal with the shoeing plan was to try and stabilize the hoof, help the breakover, and support a very low angle foot, and he was broken forward on his knee as well, so he's forward on his knees, especially the right knee, and they did a great job. Bernie and Jeremy did a great job, supported him well, and it showed in the measurement afterwards, and you'll see in the graphics. Over to you.
Oh, that was all, I think. That's really good, yeah. Now, what we try is to with the shoe to give a more support of the bars, a little bit bigger shoe, and the most important goal was to replace the shoe on the proper place on the hoof, both sides, left and right, to make them so equal as possible in his movement. So that was okay, yeah.
Yeah, great work, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.